Johnny Depp has failed to overturn the ruling in his wife-beater libel case. In a written judgment handed down by the Court of Appeal in London on Thursday, judges Lord Justice Underhill and Lord Justice Dingemans refused the actor's application for a fresh trial on the grounds that a second hearing was unlikely to produce a different outcome. Heard admits wrecking Aquaman 2 while attacking Depp's biggest win? Following a hearing last week, the Court of Appeal has refused permission to Johnny Depp to appeal against the dismissal of his claim for libel against News Group newspapers and one of its journalists. The Lord Justices wrote in an unofficial summary of their ruling. The claim was based on a story in The Sun alleging that he had beaten his former wife Amber Heard after a 3-week trial in the High Court last year, in which both Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard gave evidence. Mr. Justice Nicole found that the allegation was true, the summary continued. The court in its judgment emphasized that an appeal against the decision of a trial judge on questions of disputed fact faced serious difficulties of its judgment, and that none of the criticisms of the judge's reasoning or conclusion advanced on behalf of Mr. Depp had a real prospect of success. The court added that the 2020 trial was full and fair, and the judge involved, Mr. Justice Nicole, had given thorough reasons for his conclusions. After the court's ruling was made, a spokesperson for Heard said in a statement to Yahoo Entertainment, "We are pleased but by no means surprised by the court's denial of Mr. Depp's application for appeal. The evidence presented in the UK case was overwhelming and undeniable. To reiterate, the original verdict was that Mr. Depp committed domestic violence against Amber on no fewer than 12 occasions, and she was left in fear for her life. The verdict and lengthy, well-reasoned judgment included the confidential judgment have been affirmed. Mr. Depp's claim of new and important evidence was nothing more than a press strategy, and has been soundly rejected by the court." Thursday's ruling closes the doors on the Pirates of the Caribbean actor's legal action against the Sun newspaper for labeling him as a wife-beater in a 2018 article. Last week, Depp argued that the original trial ruling should be overturned on the basis that Amber Heard's pledge to donate her $7 million divorce settlement to charity was a calculated and manipulative lie that subliminally influenced Justice Nicole. They backed this assertion up with new evidence they say shows the actress has donated a total of $550,000 to the ACLU and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles since the couple's 2016 divorce. It was, they claimed, far removed from the $3.5 million the court was led to believe each organization would receive. In reply, Heard's legal team stated that she has done nothing dishonest with her donations to both charities, and she pledged to pay over 10 years, something they added was understood by the ACLU. To support this, Heard's attorneys provided their own evidence, which they say showed that the Aquaman star has, in fact, gifted a total of $950,000 to the ACLU and $850,000 to the Children's Hospital through anonymous donors. "She has pledged this amount," said Wolanski. "She is a donor." On Thursday, the Court of Appeal ruled that it could not make a ruling about whether Heard's statements were misleading. It added that Depp's legal team should also have raised the question of whether Heard's pledge was a calculated and manipulative lie during the original trial. Ms. Heard was not asked anything about her donation to charity in the course of cross-examination, the court wrote in its formal judgment. The question was never put to the test because she was never asked. In reply to the court's decision, lawyers for The Sun said the judge's ruling fully vindicates the newspaper's journalism, and also Amber Heard, who stood up to Mr. Depp in the face of his repeated attempts to silence her. "It's a victory for the freedom of the press and for victims of domestic violence everywhere," added The Sun's attorney, Jeffrey Smeal, in a written statement to People. In a case wildly labeled as the libel trial of the century, the court heard evidence from over 30 witnesses and reviewed more than a dozen files of evidence. The Court of Appeal has now turned down any form of additional appeal. For our clients, this will thankfully, finally, bring this matter to a close. Depp's legal case in the UK courts, the actor is still fighting a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Heard in the US, which is scheduled to begin on May 3rd in Fairfax County, Virginia. Speaking on behalf of Depp, Joel Rich from Schilling's Partners in London stated that the Hollywood star was still prepared to pursue the American strand of his legal action against his ex-wife. The evidence presented at last week's hearing further demonstrates that there are clear and objective reasons to seriously question the decision reached in the UK court, wrote Rich in a statement provided to People. Mr. Depp looks forward to presenting the complete, irrefutable evidence of the truth in the US libel case against Ms. Heard, where she will have to provide full disclosure. A New York judge has ruled in favor of Johnny Depp's request to determine whether ex-wife Amber Heard followed through with donating part of her divorce settlement to the American Civil Liberties Union. Heard previously pledged to donate her $7 million settlement to both the ACLU and Children's Hospital Los Angeles shortly after the pair's divorce was finalized in 2017. According to the court papers filed by Depp and his lawyers in New York and obtained by People this past May, they have been asking both organizations to share how much Heard has donated. A judge in New York has granted Depp, 58, permission to determine whether the Aquaman actress donated to the ACLU. The organization has been asked to release documents to confirm. Mr. Depp is most gratified by the court's decision, the Sweeney Todd actor's attorney, Benjamin Chu, told the outlet in a statement. In a July 22nd hearing, transcript provided to People by Heard's attorney Elaine Bredehoft said her client is still planning to donate one half of her total settlement to the ACLU and the other half to CHLA, and while it is undetermined what those payment schedules will be, Heard has already made the first payment towards the pledges. And then some. Specifically, more than $1 million each to the ACLU and CHLA. We produced the documents from the ACLU on how much she has. She has always said she fully intends to continue to give the full $7 million, but she can't do it yet. She will do it when she can, but she has given a significant amount to both, Bredehoft added of Heard in part. In the court papers, Depp respectfully requested that this court enter an order directing the ACLU witnesses to fully comply with the subpoenas. Depp sought the documents for his ongoing $50 million defamation case against Heard for her 2018 op-ed about domestic violence published in the Washington Post.